Alright, yeah. I'm starting my second analysis. Finally, I've got so much text. Oh my god, I spent so much time writing this about every single character. Well, not I skipped the social links this time because Jesus Christ. I I put all my eggs in one basket. Okay, so let's start with you. I've got quite a lot of room for you, so Giga Chat. Yeah. I'm not gonna analyze you. I mean, maybe you could get stuff through the dialogue options, but no. We'll just leave it as that for now. Alright, so yeah, let's start with Yosuke. Yosuke, he's a guy who teases his friends, Chie, Teddy, and Kanji, about their insecurities, but he does actually kinda maybe care for them. No, he does though. Because we see it when he gets Teddy that drink. He openly states his thoughts, including the horny ones, to others, but also tries to act cool. Yeah, obviously he's always telling you about I don't know, this girl he finds hot or something. But he does try to act cool in front of the huss, you know? Remember with Rise and Kanji was low-key exposing him for talking about thighs, so yeah. And he was like, nah, I never said that, man, please. Alright, so now let's get into what his shadow is saying. He's bored of the small town, wants to do more exciting and interesting things. Yeah. So, obviously he comes from the city, so he's not a huge fan of the small town, and that's why in a social link we usually go to what's it called, Ocean City, and that's why he wants his motorcycle as well, so that he can explore other places. Scared of being alone, so tries to surround himself with people and acts carefree. Yeah, his shadows said this as well. I guess he doesn't want to be lonely, so he tries to surround himself with people. But obviously, ever since he got you and the rest of the investigation team as friends, he hasn't really had a problem with this. But yeah, I mean, yeah, his old friends, we'll talk about them in a second. Gets a lot of spam, but doesn't change his number because he might miss texts from his friends, in quotes, from the city. He only ever had small talk with them, never got serious. Yeah, so in a social link, he said he gets spammed because his number got leaked or something. But he doesn't want to change his number because all of his old friends, in quotes, have that number from back in the city, but he wasn't that close to them. But I guess he doesn't want to change numbers. I don't really know why. I guess maybe obviously he likes surrounding himself with people, so I guess he just wants them to reach out. Even though he knows that they're not really friends. He enjoys talking to girls, but isn't ready for a relationship while investigating the murders. Yeah, so obviously he's always around hitting on girls, but he said in his in his relationship with you, no, in his social link with you, we're not there just yet. When we were with Nanako, he wasn't ready for a relationship because he had something to do. Obviously investigating the murders. So that's cool of him. I mean, I guess it makes sense since his crush was one of the victims that he wants to resolve the murders before getting into a relationship. He's annoyed that he's infamous for being the son of the manager at Junes, as people always complain and ask him for favors. Yeah, so again, in a social link, we see people come up to him, well, like those two girls, they come complain to him and ask him to like tell the manager to like, I don't know, they can't work on weekends or something. And he doesn't want people like constantly asking him for favors and complaining to him. So yeah, he has a personal attachment to solving the case as the killer caused the death of his crush Saki. Yeah, I talked a bit about this already, but we definitely see Yosuke is pissed at the killer. Like after we get Mitsu out the TV and we think it's him, Yosuke, he crashes out. Peak voice acting by Yuri Lorenthal. That crash out was good. Alright, yeah, so now we're just talking about his shadow here. Okay, his shadow self represents his boredom. This is just what I think. His shadow self represents his boredom in living in Inaba with nothing to do, and he doesn't actually care about the people he hangs out with, but just use them to not feel lonely. Yeah. So obviously his shadow is like saying how bored he is of Inaba, and it's also talking about how he just surrounds himself with people so that he's not alone, and that he doesn't actually care about the people he surrounds himself with. Obviously his shadow talks about Saki, like he's just using her as an excuse to go into the TV and find something interesting. That's not the full picture, that's just a shadow. He does actually care for her, but this is a part of him that part of him just doesn't care about others like that. But hey, he's a cool guy. Yeah, we see his shadow self after he accepts it, through his desire to travel to a place on a motorbike. Yeah, that's why he wants to get the bike so he can go places, and how he hopes his old friends from the city would contact him despite admitting that they weren't really friends. Yeah, I already brought this up. So yeah, that's Josuke. Really cool character. I love him. I know. Okay, the thing is with Yosuke. Obviously, I knew he's the bro character, but I've also heard that things go downhill for him, and obviously one part of that was the school camp out. I don't think he did anything wrong, really. Like, I guess, I should probably zoom in a bit, actually. Did I have it at 200 before? Okay, that's way too zoomed in. I just have it like 150. Yeah. Yeah, obviously him like asking if he's gonna be safe alone with Kanji was kind of weird, but I guess a swimsuit thing. But I think it's more the girls' fault. Like they cooked some mystery food X, then beat the shit out of Kanji. I mean, to be fair, Kanji did bust into the tent, so yeah, I'll give him a pass on that. But then pushing the guys in the water, not sure. I'll say that's reasonable, but because of them being creepy about the swimsuits. But pushing Kanji in? What did Kanji do? He just got a nosebleed, bro. Alright, whatever, bro. I don't think my opinion on Yosuke is gonna dip too much. I really like him. He's probably the coolest bro character in the games, and probably also the smartest. I like how the bro character is actually like the strategist of the team. That's different. Alright, anyway, let's go on to Chie. Yeah, I'll try not to make this too long. Chie is energetic, obviously. gets excited about things easily. Eating food or catching the killer. She's always like hyping herself or the team up. Yeah, energetic girl. She's fun. Alright, let's get into her shadow. So, her shadow was jealous of Yukiko for being more feminine and pretty than her, as all the guys drool over her. This is what her shadow says. She saw herself as pathetic, but felt good after hearing how Yukiko was jealous of her and thinks she's better. Yeah, so when Chie has Yukiko be like feel jealous of how like strong Chie is, that like validates her and she sort of sees herself on top. Yeah, wants to keep Yukiko as a friend to surround herself with people who depends and sees that Chie is better than her. Yeah, I word this kind of weirdly, but Yukiko depends on Chie and sees that she's better than thinks that Chie is better than her. So Chie wants to keep her as a friend, to surround herself with people like that, because she's insecure about not being as feminine and pretty as Yukiko, but feels good that Yukiko looks up to her like that. It puts others down to feel better about her insecurities. Yeah, I think she was only able to act strong because Yukiko was by her side. Yeah, she says this after she accepts her shadow. She's only able to act strong, and what else did Yukiko say? I don't know, Yukiko called Chie like strong. She was only able to act strong because Yukiko is by her side, she says. Alright, now let's get into her social link stuff. Backstory. She was part of the Runt Gang in kindergarten, an ally of justice in elementary school, and the vanguards of the lunch revolution in middle school. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what she was doing. Like, was she like fighting people? Yeah, her friend, I think his name is like Takeshi or something. He mentions this. And now she's, what was it? Defending the world's peace. Yeah, so, yeah, the friend, maybe boyfriend. He says that, he was with Chie, but Chie also denies it. He always stared at Yukiko though, and Chie calls him rude. But she still cares for him. I think she does like try to deny the fact that she cares for him, but you can see that she's like, I can't remember what happened exactly, but you can tell she was like worried about him. Yeah, she wants to train hard so she can get strong enough to protect Yukiko and her friends. Yeah, so in a social thing, we're always training together, and she said she wants to be strong enough to protect Yukiko and the rest, but we don't care about them. Only protect Yukiko, because Yukiko is important to her. Alright, her shadow represents a part of her that is insecure and sees herself as pathetic, so she puts others down to feel better about herself. Yeah, that's why she said, her shadow said like, Yukiko is too precious to me, I'll never let her go because she looks up to me and I'm like better than her or something. We see her shadow self. Yeah, I always have this, so what I think the shadow represents and how we see the shadow after they accept it. We see her shadow self through her lack of confidence in cooking. Yeah, and sort of being insecure and seeing herself as pathetic. She doesn't have a lot of confidence when it comes to making the mystery food X. She can't even like hype herself up when cooking. she just has to wing it and still does terrible and blames others, Yosuke, for things that aren't their fault. What was this? Oh yeah, the school camp out. Oh yeah, when the girls are like, they come into the boys' tent, and then they're like, you guys better not do anything. Like, you guys are the ones who came in here. Yeah, add that to the list of things the girls did, though the boys didn't do. Whatever. We canonically forget all about the school camp out. That it happened, we're moving on. But that's just, it's in the past now, you know? Yeah. Blames others for things that aren't their fault. So, like, putting people down. So I gathered, at least. I'm probably wrong with some of these takes on the shadows, but hey. It's hard, you know? Yeah, I guess I'll talk about Chie a bit more. Yeah, I actually really like Chie. She has some of the best lines in the whole game. Actually, she has some of the best lines in all Persona. I love her voice acting. Oh my god. I love how she says like the stupidest things and is like unemployed. And always like gets mad at Yosuke and I don't know, she's just so entertaining. However, I actually love every single party member here. So she's I wouldn't even say she's more like, I wouldn't even say she's one of my favorites. Although maybe I'll rank the party members at some point in the future after we've seen all of them, or maybe once I've finished the game. I really like Chie, but there are so many good characters here. Like Yosuke, I might prefer Yosuke to Chie, honestly. I just love Yu and Yosuke's like bro relationship. However, I also love Yu and Chie's relationship because it's sort of like unexpected, but Chie is actually like, you actually kind of like makes her blush. Even though she's more like a tomboy girl, and I like how, I can't remember, what did I say? Yeah, I like how that one scene where Chie has like the roach on her, or like the bug, and you can say like that's very feminine. I think if you say that, Chie is like, wait, really? So see, she was jealous of Yukio being feminine. So that's fun. I like that weird sort of relationship. Yeah. Alright, let's move on to Yukiko then. Alright. Yukiko enjoys watching her friends interact and gets embarrassed when she is complimented. Yeah, so OC enjoys watching her friends just be goofier. And she laughs her ass off whenever Yosuke and Kanji do something dumb, or Chie says some shit, or when she ate Chie's food and I was like, damn, this shit sucks, and started laughing her ass off. Yukio really went back on her day one though. Betrayed her day one. And gets embarrassed when she is complimented. Yeah, whenever like Chie brings her into the conversation, she's like, what? I don't know, she doesn't really know how to react. And she is like saying, like, it must be right if Yukio said it. So yeah, she just likes enjoying the show. She's just like us, honestly. Just enjoying the game. Alright, okay. Already on to shadow stuff. I forget I did the shadow stuff first and then the social link stuff at the end. Alright, yeah. She wants to score herself a hot stud, of course. Okay, let's explain this. A prince to save her from being trapped in the Amagi Inn so she can go to a place where no one knows who she is, and she feel like her life isn't all decided for her. Yeah, so she feels trapped in the inn. I think she said her whole life would be planned out from the moment she was born until the moment she dies, and she doesn't want that. She wants to do something else, but she wants someone else to save her, because I think we'll get onto it in a minute. She hates her name. It means snow because it's cold and melts quickly. This is what she says: transient, worthless. Transient just means like temporary. She sees herself as worthless. She wants someone else to take her away because she sees herself as worthless with no courage to leave. Yeah, so that's why she wants a prince to save her. She doesn't think she has the courage to leave on her own, so she fantasizes about a prince coming, and guess it's mixed with her like horny teenage thoughts. So yeah. She thinks that Chie is the one who gave her life meaning. She's everything that she doesn't have. She's bright and strong, and she can do anything. Yeah, so right before Chie's shadow appears, we hear Yukio talk about Chie like this. She has everything that Yukio doesn't have. I guess Chie is more like, yeah, energetic, whereas Yukio is more stoic. Except for when she laughs, she's gets excited about things easily. I guess she is more like direct, and it's fine with hurting other people's feelings. Thinks that she doesn't deserve Chie's protection. Yeah, she says she doesn't deserve Chie to like complete her or something, because she looks up to her. And that's how it goes along with Chie wanting to train hard so she can protect Yukiko. That's fun. She wants to get, into a social link. She wants to get a job outside the Omagi Inn. Yeah, she wants to leave. She says she wants to be an interior decorator. She wants to do everything on her own and leave the town. So yeah, she gave up on the whole prince thing because that's not happening. She can work this out on her own. Feels that she's only depending on others until she got her persona, so she now wants others to depend on her. Yeah, that's why she wants to be independent and leave the town on her own, because she's dependent on others her whole life, so she wants others to depend on her now. Smart thinker. Yeah, Yukio. I actually really like how they made Yukio smart, but not like a Makoto or a Mitsuru, where those characters are good. I do actually really like Makoto's character, but I feel like at some points it feels like their only character trait is just being the smart one of the group. Which I don't really like, but Yukio, she's so more nonchalant in being smart. She taps in when she feels like throwing deductions out there, but she's not like showing off intelligence all the time, which I like. Yeah. Her shadow, I think, represents her desire for someone to save her from being trapped in the Omagi Inn for the rest of her life. Yeah. Which she doesn't really care for. She said she doesn't really care about the Omagi Inn. Well, at least her shadow does. Maybe she does a bit, but her shadow is like, fuck that. It feels like she can't leave herself, as she is worthless with no courage, and so she wants someone else to save her. We see her shadow self through her hoping that the inn gets a bad reputation, so she feels better about leaving. Yeah, in a social link, I think it's like the most recent rank I did. There were like these guys who want to like talk about the inn, and they were kind of like tarnish its reputation. And Yukio actually wished that they did tarnish its reputation, so that she'd actually feel better about leaving, which is kind of messed up, but yeah, I guess her shadow didn't really care for it, and she wants to leave anyway. So, and she also thinks she has no courage, so that's why she wants the inn, that she wants like someone else to give the inn a bad reputation, so she has an excuse to leave, rather than she feel like she's being selfish and leaving on her own. It's kind of like someone saving her. At least that's what I picked up. Yeah, that's it for Yukiko's part. I do really like Yukiko's character. Like at first I wasn't too sure because she's kind of stoic and it's hard to tell like who she is really. It feels like she's just exposition at times and just there for no reason, but I don't know. Obviously her laughing can be annoying, but hey, I actually really like it. It humanizes her so nicely, and it's just relatable, bro. That's literally me playing the game. And yeah, her social link, I actually like her sort of relationship with you, where she's actually the one to vent to you, even though she's usually the quiet one, because you is the silent Giga Chad. He'll hear everyone out. So I feel like you is someone that Yukio can confide in and talk about her problems with. I'm really just spending 10 minutes on each one, aren't I? Alright, yeah. Let's move on to Kanji now. Alright, Kanji. Kanji tries to act tough, to hide his insecurities, but is kind. Yeah, so obviously he puts on this like tough, like menacing exterior, but he's really just like a good guy underneath. Yeah, he crushed the biker gangs by himself because their noise kept his mother up at night. Dojima says this when he's introduced. So yeah, he said it's like a nice gesture, but his mother has to apologize each time he does that. Which, yeah, it kind of sucks, but hey. It shows that Kanji, he's at least, like, he's at least kind in his own way. He has pride and never wants to lose. Yeah, so his shadow does sort of say this about pride. I think it's when you're climbing up his dungeon. He talks about this, and also in the thing where Teddy comes out and they're eating topsicles, Kanji's like competing with Teddy, saying he had like more topsicles than him. That was funny. I like that. Alright, let's talk about his shadow. He hates girls. His shadow hates girls. So they're so arrogant and self-centered. I just put the whole quotes in them. They cry if you get angry, they gossip behind your back, they spread nasty lies. And they act like he's weird because of his hobby is like sewing and painting, he brings up. yeah, so he prefers men because he thinks they won't say the degrading things that the women have said to him. Because obviously they don't like his feminine hobbies. Feels like everyone thinks he's weird and wants someone to accept him. Yeah, again, we see his shadow just wanting someone to accept him. And Yosuke's like, nah man, I don't swing that way. And Kanji like beats the shit out of him. And then he says he tries to make everyone hate him because he doesn't want his true self to get rejected. Yeah, so that's why he like puts on the tough acts, because he's spent most of his life being judged for his hobbies, and girls saying he's not manly, so he tries to like scare them away and get people to hate this fake version of him, so that he doesn't reveal his true self to them, so they can't reject that true self. He doesn't want to cause trouble for his friends because of his attitude. Yeah, he's always like apologizing to you for causing trouble because of how he acts. And the police are always suspicious of him and ask him what he's doing. We see this in a social link. The police comes into Aya, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? Doing something sus? And he gets pissed at her. He wants to help make the town peaceful again to atone for what he's done before. Yeah, so he wants to stop being so aggressive. And actually help the town become peaceful by stopping the murders and just being a better guy with a better attitude, at least. And so he doesn't make trouble for his friends. He hates hospitals because his father died at one while he was somewhere else. Yeah, so his mum says this to us, that he hates hospitals, and that his father died. His mum was kind of vague with the wording. While we're in the hospital, she said like his dad died here. I'm assuming she means at the hospital, and that's why he hates hospitals. But he was off somewhere else when he died. Or actually, it was when he collapsed. He was somewhere else. So Kanji, when Kanji heard his mom was in the hospital, he thought it was happening again. He was somewhere else while she was dying, which is actually kind of sad. Jesus Christ, it's got sad real quick. Alright, yeah, let's go. He used to rather play house instead of catch. Oh yeah, this is more of what his mum says. He used to play house instead of catch, go into home economics instead of PE. So he could never get any male friends because all the guys were playing catch and PE, so there were only girls in home economics and house, really. But the girls also didn't accept him because he wasn't manly, or he was like a twink. Maybe his shadow represents what he thinks girls see him as, because he wasn't accepted by girls having feminine hobbies, so they called him gay. Yeah, so this is kind of a shot in the dark here. His shadow, I don't know if that's actually a part of him, or if it's just a fake version of him that came up from others like judgments and what they think he is. So they see him as like gay, like feminine, weirdo, so his shadow's like zesty. He might have thought he likes guys because he doesn't like how girls treat him, or he's just actually bisexual. Yeah, so he clearly he is sort of into girls. We see him blush around like Chie and Yukiko, but he thought he likes guys, at least somewhat, because of his shadow. I don't know whether that's because the girls called him gay, so he's like, maybe I am, or because he just hates girls, so he thinks guys are a lot better. I don't know. You see his shadow self through his hobbies, obviously, and relating to the kid who got judged for having a doll. Yeah, and the social link, there's like kids who his friends like stomped on this doll that the kid borrowed from his sister, because that's girly. Dolls are girly, and he got him to like throw it in the river, and he relates to that because he still went through the same thing. Yeah, Kanji. I mean, I like Kanji once again. I love all these characters. I feel like Kanji usually fulfills like the dumb role, like the meathead, like the large like buff guy is also kind of dumb. It's a pretty common like stereotype, but I think it works well, honestly. And then you have like the gay stuff mixed in, which, I mean, that's very unique. But yeah, I like how he interacts with like the rest of the party, because yeah, he tries to act tough in front of them, but nobody really takes him seriously because they've seen his shadow. And it's pretty funny. It feels like he's the one in trouble when like Chie calls him out for sleeping while they're discussing stuff, and he has to defend himself. And he's also like sometimes clueless, which is pretty funny, honestly. He reminds me of Yusuke from P5. Yusuke had some great moments of just being clueless about things. They're just funny. Oh, and also how he calls out Yosuke for looking at Risei's legs, like in front of Risei. He's actually the goat for that. And he's like, what was the line? He's like, oh, I know what you're really asking, Yosuke. Did I call him Yusuke? He's like, oh, I know what you're really asking. You're asking me to punch you in the face or something. Oh, no, yeah. You're asking, will you please beat the shit out of me, Kanji? Because Yosuke was like calling him gay or something. That's funny. And I like how he kind of sees like everyone else, obviously they're his senpai, so even though he's this like tough guy, he sort of tries to act polite around them, which is funny. Alright, let's move on to Risei. That's actually the first part I wrote, but I put it down here because it's in order of when they're introduced, except for Teddy, but we'll get there. Alright. Risei. She's confident in herself, as we see with like her cooking, and very mischievous. Very. I. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, so she was tired of working as an idol, so she got out of the being Rosette and moved back to Inaba. Although she did want to be an idol when she was a kid. Yeah, we'll talk about this more in a second. Let's talk about what her shadow says. Her shadow says that she doesn't care about looks at some point. And like she actually doesn't like good-looking guys. She likes what's on the inside, someone kind and clean, she says. Now obviously she likes Yu Narukami. I don't really know why she likes him, because he don't really say much to her at first. So I'm calling that looks thing BS. Maybe she just felt his overwhelming aura. I mean, I guess, yeah, she likes someone who's kind, so I guess she likes when Yu is like kind to her and helps show her around the town, which is fun. More of what her shadow says. This is just what she says exactly. I'm sick of being some airhead cliche who chokes down everything she's fed and takes it all with a smile. So what does this mean? So when she's Rosette, the character Rosette, she plays like this airhead. It's a cliche. She plays an airhead who chokes down everything she's fed and takes it with a smile. Obviously, she's always smiling as an idol. Chokes down everything she's fed. I don't know if that means like accepting like work as an idol and has to like smile through it all and still be an airhead, even though she's actually like pretty smart and doesn't always smile. Really. She just acts this way. For the fans, you know. So she was unsure who the real her is. Because Rosette isn't really her. Her shadow isn't really her. She don't really know. She hasn't acted normal in ages. Thought it would take her a while to make friends at school. Yeah. She mentions this. She thought it would take her a while to make friends. Obviously, she's like popular, so people would be all over her, but those aren't real like friends, you know. So yeah, it'd be hard. Going into a school where everyone like sees you as this big thing, like and trying to make friends. Has people hold grudges against her for no reason. Yeah, she talks about this when we're talking about the killer. And we actually see this with like, I forgot her name, but our new homeroom teacher. She's like wants to compete with Rise in like popularity, and she's on the wrong side of 40, so there's no way, bro. She doesn't eat out alone in case someone took a picture of her. Yeah, so in our social link, obviously we take her to Sozai Daigaku, and she says she hasn't eaten out since she was a kid, I think, at a summer festival. In case someone took a picture of her, I think she said her manager would get mad or something. I don't really know why, but yeah, she hasn't been allowed to eat out. But with you, I guess it's fine. She wants to act like a normal girl now. Hardly showed up for school, so didn't have many friends and had strict parents. Yeah, so she also mentions this to you. How she hardly showed up for school. I don't know. She doesn't say why that is. Is it because she was an idol? So she didn't really have time to go to school. So couldn't really get any friends. Or if that's like before she was an idol for a different reason. And her parents were strict. So I guess she sort of felt lonely. She doesn't like talking about depressing subjects. Yeah, whenever the subject gets heavy, P4G just wants to snap out of that and just enjoy the moment, which is fair. Prefers being an ordinary girl in public to being Rosette. Yeah, once again, a social link, we see people coming up to her asking if she's Rosette. She's like, nope, not me, wrong girl, and just walks away, which is fun. So she just wants to be an ordinary girl for the time being. She doesn't want anything to do with showbiz. Yeah, I don't know if she said she was taking a break temporarily or like permanently. I don't really know what she was saying, but she doesn't want anything to do with it for the time being. We see her manager try to convince her to come back. She says he treats her as family because the manager has like a little sister who's the same age as her, but she doesn't want anything to do with them anymore. Alright, maybe her shadow represents part of her that wants attention by sexualizing herself because she lacked connection as a child. I'm not sure how true this is. This is just me completely like spitting shit out of my mouth. I don't know. It's her shadow's hard to understand, honestly. Why is she a stripper? I don't know. Is it because she wants attention? Because she lacked connection? Like, she didn't have friends in school and her parents were strict. Although she did say her parents were great and they spent time at like the summer festival, so her family's fine, but she didn't really have many friends. So maybe she likes the attention. Maybe that's why she became an idol in the first place. She also doesn't like the mask she wears as Rosette, who's an airhead and always smiles. Yeah, her shadow doesn't like Rosette, because she has to act all cheery and dumb. And that's not who she wants to be. Her shadow thinks the real her is a stripper. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. We see her shadow self through her mischievousness and teasing others. I think her shadow is more like being mischievous. So she was so used to being an airhead Rosette that she sort of buried this mischievous aspect of herself as her shadow, and now we see her be like, we see her be freaky with like, say she's gonna like spoon feed Yosuke, teasing him, or like being all confident in cooking when she's actually very shit. I don't know. It's fun. Rise, I love Rise. She was probably one of the characters I was most excited for, because I love her design. She's an idol who's also like in our team. I don't know, I just thought that was really interesting, because obviously P5 has like An, who's a model. I'm like the popular girl at school. I guess Rise is the equivalent of that. I guess Yukio is also pretty popular. But yeah, Rise, I don't know. It's just interesting how she's like such a big idol and everyone knows her, and she's just in our little like group. And just a bunch of like idiots trying to catch this killer. And she's like, obviously she's really cheery. She's like, I feel like she's not really the energy of the group, that's what she is, but she's bubbly. That's how you describe her, right? And I don't know, it feels like our group is kind of missing that. Someone who's just really like, I don't know if positive is the right word. If that makes her sound like she's like always like toxic positivity, but no. I feel like she just lifts the mood of the group. And yeah, her having a crush on you, oh my god, I actually enjoy her social thing so much because of like the flirting between them. Oh my god. It's so fun. Like, that's actually crazy. Some of the stuff that happens between them. And how she like teases him and oh my god. Like she knows she's like, she's confident she can pull you. Like, oh my god. Alright. Yeah. This is gonna end up being longer than the last recording, isn't it? Alright, let's just go on to Teddy. Oh my god. Okay, I have a bunch of... Now we get onto like the actual story stuff. Okay, let's just talk about Teddy first. Teddy... Oh, I didn't make like a summary of like how he is, like I do the rest of them, like confident issues. Oh well, whatever. Teddy, he's the lonely guy. I'll just put bear pun guy. Bear pun idiot. Yeah, bro, he's an idiot who makes bear puns and expects people to laugh. Yeah, he gets lonely and thinks too much. None of his friends have fun without him. Obviously, when we were doing all the school camp out stuff, Teddy was all alone, just waiting for us to come back because he didn't think he could leave. He was insecure about being Hollow Bear and not like human like the others. He wants to believe that he's not Hollow and has lost memories so that he can score with Chie and Yukiko. So he gets triggered when Rise says that there was no real her. Yeah, and that's what brings his shadow out. So I can't remember exactly what Teddy hoped, but he was insecure about him being Hollow whenever Yosuke would bring it up. And lost memories, he brings that up as well. But when Rise talks about her not being a real her, he's triggered by that and his shadow comes out. He knows that he's Hollow but doesn't want to accept it, so seeks an alternate form. At least that's what his shadow says. He says like deep down you know you're Hollow. Believes that you shouldn't break promises, so has to create a new one with Nanako to be able to stay. Yeah. So I can't remember what the promise was, but I guess he promised you that he would help him until they solved the case, and after they solved it, he would go back to his world. and he didn't want to break that promise, but hey, he made another one with Nanako, so now he's good. Alright, okay. Let's get into what his shadow was saying. The truth is unattainable. It will always be shrouded in fog. Though you reach through the murk and the gloom to grasp something, you have no means to know it is the truth. In which case, why? What sense is there in yearning for truth? Close your eyes, lie to yourself. Live in blissful ignorance is a much smarter way to exist. That's deep. You undergo suffering because of your search for the truth. Yeah, basically saying that the investigation team can never truly know the truth. They can never truly know if the truth they find is true, and that it caused them suffering to search for it. He thinks living in blissful ignorance is smarter. It's also heavily nihilistic, which believing that nothing matters. So that is deep for Teddy. Jesus Christ. Teddy's shadow could represent the part of him that chooses to believe that he has no ultimate form and lost memories instead of searching for the truth, because he thinks that he'll suffer by trying to find it. Yeah, so he says, close your eyes, lie to yourself, live in blissful ignorance. He thinks that searching for the truth will only lead to suffering, and that they will never really find the truth. So, in Teddy trying to find his lost memories, or trying to gain an ultimate form, in Teddy trying to gain an alternate form, his shadow sees that as suffering, and so wants him to live in blissful ignorance without ever finding out if these exist. I guess we see his shadow self by him gaining a human form after accepting it, as his clouded mindset stopped him from being able to create an alternate form. Maybe. I mean, him creating a human form inside himself is... I don't think there's any explaining that could be done there. Like yeah, it could be because of his mindset that he wasn't able to create a human form before, and now that he's accepted the shadow, his mind's now clear, so he can actually gain that alternate form that he wants to search for, but also accepts that he's gonna suffer if he tries to find it. Something like that. However, is this actually Teddy's shadow? Because I did not remember this on my first time playing it, but when I was editing I noticed this. Chie says, "Don't tell me, is that the other Teddy? Teddy's hidden thoughts?" And Rise says, "I believe so, but it seems like there's more. I felt some powerful presence intervene." Intervene? A powerful presence intervened with Teddy's shadow. Because obviously, Teddy's not like this. His shadow is like... That's crazy how that's Teddy's shadow. It's a powerful presence intervening. The powerful presence might have combined with Teddy's shadow to try to kill the investigation team and give them a message to stop searching for the truth. Yeah, I don't really know why the presence did this. Obviously they tried to kill them and failed, but also told them to back off, stop searching for the truth. And yeah, we know that something's off because Teddy didn't understand what his shadow was saying. even though it's supposed to be a part of himself that he knows is there but doesn't want to accept. Everyone else, they know that their shadows saying true things about them, but they don't want to accept it. But Teddy, he didn't really understand what his shadow was saying. And yeah, he also goes so without exactly accepting his shadow. He didn't really say, he didn't accept his shadow, say like, you're me and I'm you. He didn't say that. He just sort of, actually I can't remember what it was. He sort of realized that the party members are there for him, and that just made his shadow turn into a persona. So yeah, might be the final boss trying to warn the investigation team through Teddy, through his shadow. Clearly it's a powerful presence. I don't think the killer would be described as a powerful president? As a powerful presence. So it's probably a god. Yeah, who else would be described by Rise as a powerful presence? And how would they even, like, I don't know, how would they fuse with someone's shadow? They have to be like a god or something. Or someone built different. There's no way it's the killer, unless the killer is, like, crazy with it. Yeah. Teddy is... Honestly, I actually like Teddy. I didn't think I was gonna like him at first. But he's pretty funny. When he was, like, talking to the lady who works at Juness, like, rizzing her up. And Yosuke was actually gonna crash out at him. Like, yeah, he's annoying sometimes, like, him wanting to, like, score with Chie and Yukio, like, that's pretty funny sometimes, but also a bit weird. I mean, is it less weird now that he's a human? Yeah. Now that he's, like, a kinda attractive guy, it's not that weird that he wants to sleep with other humans, but yeah. And the bear puns. The bear puns are pretty funny. I'm being honest. When he says like bear sona, that's pretty funny. I like how no one laughs at his puns. Like, we think Yukiko's gonna laugh when we're like in Kanji's dungeon. Yukiko's like bare naked. We think she's gonna crack up, but she's like, bro, what the fuck you talking about? It's the worst joke ever. Teddy just never learns, bro. Oh, in Rise's dungeon, Teddy was going a bit too far though. And like wanting to score with Rise, like that was crazy. Teddy should not be seeing that shit. Like, I think Rise was a bit too freaky for Teddy to handle. Like, I know Yukiko and Kanji's shadow are freaky, but Rise was on a different level. Teddy just malfunctioned. And I guess that's what led to his shadow coming out. Alright, we're done with the Teddy part. Let's move on to Naoto, who, obviously, I've not gone to his, I'll still call him he for now, because we don't know that he's a girl yet. I still haven't gone to his arc. So, just got some stuff from what we've seen. Tsujima mentions, actually Adachi mentions that Naoto doesn't require a reward for solving the case. He just treats it as a game, and he wants to solve it as quickly as possible. Yeah, he says this to us. Obviously, we talk about being a game and how we don't see it as a game because people are dying. And Naoto's like, yeah, I'm kind of messed up. and he said he wants to solve it as quickly as possible. He claims not to harbor any special emotions regarding a case, he says, when Yosuke like calls him out for being lonely. But he also says he doesn't like how people stop caring about him after he's no longer required for the case. They sort of like stopped filling him in after they caught the killer. He's sort of just done now with no like gratitude, I guess. Although he also didn't ask for a award. I don't really know what's going on, but I guess he just wants people to acknowledge him. We'll find out more when we get to his arc. So, yeah. We're nearly done. We just got Mitsuo left. I actually wrote down so much for this. I didn't think Mitsuo would be that interesting, but the stuff I learned rewatching when I was writing this down, oh my god. It all makes sense now. Kind of. So yeah, let's start with this. Asked Yukiko out on a date on the first day of school, and then he crashed out when she declined. That's crazy. Like, I guess he just wanted to crack. I don't know, bro. Like, he crashed out hard though when Yukiko said no. Like, jeez. Yeah, so taunts people through the Midnight Channel to get them to try and catch him. Yeah. On the Midnight Channel, he says, like, you'll think you know me, then try and catch me. That's low-key kind of tough. So he wants people to try to catch him. And then we learn he had a part-time job cutting meat at Sozai Daigaku, but he got bored of it fast. I don't know. I don't think this is like important. It's just us learning about him and his classmates in middle school, showing everyone his yearbook photo, probably because he's shocked. Yeah, I don't know, they're just making fun of him, going around showing everyone his yearbook photo. Okay, now this is where the interesting parts happen. He got beaten by someone for standing against them. So when we're traversing up his dungeon, we hear these voices talk, and we hear someone like saying, "How dare you stand against me, you rotten orange," and he like knocks Mitsuo down or something. So that's interesting. I didn't realize that on the. Well, I think honestly I did like read it on my first playthrough, but I didn't really understand what that meant. So I was still unsure, like how is this guy think he's killing him, if he's the killer, like what's going on there. So I didn't really understand that. But yeah, that's interesting. And then we see his parent talking to him. It doesn't say who it is, but I'm assuming it's a parent. They told him he slept through police sirens and that something bad happened. Which is interesting. He slept through them. Also told him a girl was killed and warned him to be safe walking around town. So he finds out from his parent that a girl was killed. But would this be Yamano Osaki? Because he's the one who's supposed to have killed them. But this also happens before he talks about killing them. yeah, so he sees killing each victim as a game. He feels excited but slightly empty after killing Yamano. Yeah, we see his like stat versions of emotions increase, like excitement increases, and emptiness increases, and sad and a lot more empty after killing Saki. Like sadness increases and emptiness increases. And then this shit happens. No! Something bad happened. I don't really know what this means. And then we hear the parents say, the noise of the arcade was bad, but can you buy some coffee from the cafe in the police cars? And when I was rereading this, I thought I was tripping. Like, the noise of the arcade? Can you buy some coffee from the cafe in the police cars? The cafe is inside the police cars? Yeah, I think he's losing it. This is just what the parents said, but jumbled around. Yeah. So, the parent, like, told him earlier to buy coffee, like, the other night when he said he slept through the police sirens. So, clearly he's, like, losing it. His memory is, like, weird. And then we hear Morioka say the same thing to him that the person who beat him said to him. That they were like standing, how dare you stand up to me for being a rotten orange. I'm assuming this is Morioka because after he says this, he debates running, but kills him. And it says he kills Morioka and increases attention and fame by a lot and coolness slightly. Because of course that's the coolest thing to do. But maybe the person who beat him in the first place was Morioka. Because we see Morioka here say the same thing that the person who beat him said to him. So is this the same situation, but instead of Morioka beating him, he kills Morioka? I wonder. And afterwards, the voice that always tells him that he has done well after killing each victim breaks, lol. Says kill, 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 kill. Yeah, it starts speaking like gibberish and kill. It was going crazy. I don't know what this means. It's like his thoughts. I don't really know. But yeah, let's talk about Shadow. Shadow says that he is nothing and he has nothing. His shadow is very quiet. Easily the least talkative of the shadows. All the other shadows are yappers, bro. But this shadow, all he says is that he's nothing. And he has nothing. And that annoys Mitsuo, because Mitsuo don't think he's nothing. He thinks he's cool for killing these people. And he says he gets pissed off at everyone. He doesn't care who he attacks. He don't really have a motive for killing people. He's just annoyed by everyone. So his shadow might represent him knowing that he is not special, even if he killed them. So clearly his shadow's like saying, I'm nothing. I have nothing. So his shadow is a part of him that knows he's not special, even if he killed them. Like, this attention doesn't make him anything. Or that him lying that he killed them proves that he is nothing else. did he actually kill them, or is he lying for attention? Because if he's lying for attention, that even further proves that he is nothing. He's just taking the blame for someone else's crime for attention. Like, wow. He does not mention trying to target Yukiko, Kanji, or Rise. We don't see, when we're going through this dungeon, we don't see Yukiko, Kanji, or Rise mentioned at all. All he talks about is killing Yamano, Saki, and Muraoka. He doesn't mention trying to kill Yukiko, Kanji, or Rise, even though the killer did try to kill them by throwing them in the TV. Unless this is all, like, a lie. But, they were not killed. So, he is probably lying about being the killer for attention. Because he doesn't know that the killer targeted Yukiko, Kanji, or Rise. The actual killer would know that, and they would have these thoughts in their mind that they targeted them, but they didn't die. But Mito doesn't have those thoughts. All he thinks about is the ones that he did kill. He is insecure about being nothing, so he wants the attention of being the killer. In quotes. Maybe his memories, in quotes, of killing them are fake, as we see that they are scrambled and break. So that might be what the broken shit is with the weird, like, keyboard spam and kill key and can you buy coffee from the cafe in the police cars. It all seems like broken memories that... Oh, and also, like, he hears sirens before it mentions him killing Yamana. The order of events is completely off. His parent tells him about the police sirens and that something bad happens and that girl was killed. And then he thinks about killing Yamana. And also... he gets beaten by Muraoka first, then it replays the scene later, but he kills him instead. Yeah, because him getting beaten by maybe Muraoka, that happens at the start. But it's at the near the end that the same thing happens again, but except he kills them and it ends up being Muraoka. So, was him killing Muraoka real, or was that him, like, trying to rewrite the narrative in his head so that he can pretend to be the killer and get all this attention? Probably not associated or manipulated by the killer. Yeah, 'cause at first I was thinking the killer, like, somehow, I don't know, brainwashed him into thinking this so he can take the fall for him. No, I don't think the killer is associated with this guy. He just wants attention for something he didn't do, as he has nothing else in life. Damn, that's kind of crazy. But it's true. His shadow admits that he's nothing. So he just wants the attention. Probably because he's always been, like, made fun of because he's chopped. So, like, his classmates showing everyone his yearbook photo. No one, like, takes him seriously. So he wants to be, like, that big killer that gets all the attention. Alright. Yeah. That's all I wrote. I didn't write about the social links because, Jesus Christ, I ended up writing way too much. Way more than last time. Oh my god. And I think it's more interesting to write about the main characters and the plot, like the Mitsuo stuff and this hidden or powerful presence intervene. That stuff is really interesting. Because if I weren't doing this analysis, I wouldn't have picked up on these things. Maybe the story would mention them later, and I'd be like, oh, how the hell did I miss that? I'm an idiot. And I guess I was. But when I actually sit here and analyze the text, I actually figure it out. Kind of. I know this is not all like right. Suffer the shadows. Probably a bit wrong, but I did my best. At least we got you being a Giga Chad. I'm really enjoying this game, honestly. It might be because I'm recording my reactions. That might be making me enjoy it more. Because I know that, well, one, I'm like actually talking into the microphone. So I get to properly vocalize my reactions. Rather than if I was just playing alone, I'd just be like silent. Maybe I'd laugh actually, but it's fun actually being able to talk about the game. And yeah, the fact that I'm saving my reactions for me to rewatch way later down the line. Oh my god, I was actually really funny in those early episodes when I was rewatching this stuff for like learning about Chie, Yosuke, Yukio, Shadow. I didn't realize how funny I was. What the hell? I think I fell off. Like, I was making some crazy jokes that I don't think I can make those anymore. It wasn't even that long ago. It was like 3 months ago. 4 months ago. Almost. Like, I don't know. I guess I was just crazy with it. But yeah, I'm having fun. The game is really entertaining me. I love all the characters. The pacing's great. The gameplay's great. The music's peak. The art's cool. Obviously, it's not as visually pleasing as P5 or P3 Reload, but it's so sick. I love the anime cutscenes. They look so good. And I hope we get more of them. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say for this analysis. Thanks for watching.